The In Conversation podcast series with author Nigel Beckles.
Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Get ready for takeoff.
Welcome back to my In Conversation podcast series. My guest for this episode is a contributor to a new book exploring personal experiences during the coronavirus lockdown, Pamela E. Thompson. Greetings, Pamela. Welcome to my podcast series. How are you?
I'm very well, Nigel. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So what have you been up to recently?
So recently, just before lockdown, I was working as a sales coordinator. I was at home for 8 weeks, and on week number 8, I was advised that I was being made redundant. So yes, an opportunity came along and I grabbed it with both hands. So I'm about to embark on an exciting journey.
Well, I understand you're an author. What inspired you to become involved in writing a book?
Well, I started writing poetry back in 2017, following a bereavement, and I've always sort of wanted to put my poetry out there. So when given the opportunity, I went with it. I decided it was time to step outside of my comfort zone, go with it, try something new.
Well, I understand your book is a collaboration. Who did you write it with?
So the book is a collaboration of 21 other women, and it's about our experiences in lockdown. And so each chapter is written by a different author, and it's about us just sharing our experiences, what we were going through emotionally. Some of us went through self-discovery, but it's all inside the book.
So what is the book called and when is it due to be released?
The book is called Life in a Lockdown 2020 Behind Closed Doors, and it will be released on Saturday the 11th of July.
So how did you find the collaboration process?
We were given deadlines. The lead author, Dee Bailey, who is part of Simply Dee's events, she holds a women's soiree. That's how we all come together. And we started having Zoom meetings on a weekly basis to support one another. And one of the ladies within the group, who is also a co-author on the book, Veronica Ebanks, she actually planted the seed with Dee that we should sort of capture this moment. And Dee decided, okay. So she put it out there in the group. Anybody want to contribute to writing a book? 22 of us said yes. And then it was sort of like, this week is, yes, I'm writing a book, and 2 weeks later, we have a deadline of the 31st of May at 12 o'clock with 400 words minimum and 1,000 maximum. And we all achieved it.
So how did you find the writing process?
I found the writing process quite easy because before the opportunity presented itself, I had already started writing about how I was currently feeling. I was depressed a couple of years ago, and I was reflecting back and thinking, well, if I was still in that state of mind, how would lockdown have impacted on me? And so I sort of put myself back in that position, and I started to write something because I sort of felt that other people out there might be feeling the same way that I would have been feeling back then. So when the opportunity presented itself, I sort of spun it on his head, rewrote it, and put in a whole new submission.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to become an author?
The advice I would give anybody that wants to become an author is they're the author of their own story. If you're going to write about you, there's nobody better to write about you than you. Nobody knows your journey better than you, and you know how you think, feel, and how you acted. So it's real, and if it comes from the heart, it just literally flows. Follow your dream. You never know where it's going to take you, and if you don't, for me, I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I think I've been writing for a while, and I've had people say to me, that sounds really good. When are you going to publish a book? As I said, when the opportunity presented itself, I decided it was time to step outside of my comfort zone and actually publish something, because I'm never going to know where it's going to go until I've tried it. So I can actually tick that one off my bucket list and said, yeah, I've actually written a piece and it's been published.
Well, talking about bucket lists, what are your plans for the future?
Oh, my plans for the future. My plans for the future are to write another book, because writing this book has inspired me to write another one. I'm also a life coach and I'm a soul plan practitioner. So my passion is helping others. So my goal is to continue to help and support others, because that's my passion and that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy helping people to gain a better understanding of themselves and, you know, things that we should keep on board and things that we should actually shelve and throw away that are not actually doing us any good on a day-to-day basis. My goal is to help and empower others.
And how can people contact you, Pamela?
For the book, we can be contacted on social media by Facebook, which is www.facebook.com, Life in a Lockdown 2020. We can be contacted on Twitter and Instagram at Life in a Lockdown 2020, and we can be emailed at lifeinalockdown@gmail.com.
Okay, Pamela. Well, that's been very interesting. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
Have you experienced several failed relationships or been through a divorce? How can you avoid making the same mistakes again? How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes is out now.
Hi, my name is Nigel Beckles. My new book is packed with practical and common sense strategies that you can use to make better relationship choices.
Now you can discover the dangerous myths about love. If your relationship expectations are realistic, why you could be falling in love for all the wrong reasons.
How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes. It's a book that could change your life.
Available from www.relationshipmistakesbook.com and amazon.co.uk. Kindle version also available.
Award-winning author Pamela R. Haynes. Her latest book, Loving the Brothers, is available from Amazon and all good bookstores now. Nominated in the Best Writer category by the BLAC Awards for 2020. Loving the Brothers by author Pamela R. Haynes. Order your copy of a fantastic book now.
Looking for Love is a documentary that explores black relationships in the UK, seeking answers to difficult questions, transforming the way we think about love and relationships.
50% of couples who marry this year will get divorced.
Looking for Love from the award-winning director Menelik Shabazz is finally available on DVD.
If I had been to a counsellor or been to a therapist, I would have dealt with a lot of those issues a lot quicker.
Get yours today from lookingforlovefilm.com.
Thank you for listening. Please join me for another In Conversations podcast very soon for more interesting and entertaining discussions. Stay safe.
Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.